What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Design Theater. Today we are looking at the comic book artist Sean Gordon Murphy. This guy's done a bunch of different stuff. He's an American artist, so he's done stuff like Batman. I know he's worked on some of the other DC properties. I think he's worked on like stuff like Superman and whatnot, but he's also done his own. He's done independent stuff. I'm not sure if he wrote them or not, but he's done stuff like Punk Rock Jesus and Wake's End, I believe. So we're just going to flip through some of the stuff it is that we have here, look and see what we can glean from his work. This looks like a page out of a Batman. This looks like a looks like we got Joker sitting in a cell, and Batman is basically standing over this cell. It looks like Joker has a bunch of like Batman affiliated stuff in there with him. It's interesting. Um, but seems like he's just kind of like flying away after he's making sure that Joker's in there. He's got some great like pinup type illustrations, like stuff like this. I'm not even sure where this is from. I don't know if this is from Batman or not, but I love the I love how symmetrical it is, but then at the same time it's still got like an element of asymmetry to it, right? Like you have this very strong element going across here, even though all of this is very symmetrical in terms of the pose and whatnot. Even the height of the elbows there. But then he has these other asymmetrical elements like over here on this side, right? Very cool. Very strong sense of design and composition. I really dig his black and white stuff. I like the way that he lets everything that's going on in the background just fade into black, and then he uses a lot of halftones on top of that. That's something that I want to incorporate into what I do. I love the way that he uses these halftones to kind of show the texture of the cloth. I think that's really a cool touch and a great way to add a lot of detail without having to put a lot of work into it, right? Yeah, his stuff is very expressive. One of the things I love about American comics is that it doesn't fit all into one style. When you look at the Japanese stuff, typically it all fits into, the anime style. Um, but not so much when it comes to the American stuff. Like people are way more free form with the way that they do things. Got another awesome Batman piece here. Man, the way that he draws the vehicles, they just feel so chunky and so real. I mean, this is an incredible illustration. There's a lot of perspective going on here. There's a lot of I mean, obviously there's the storytelling element there, but everything just feels very solid. His drawing skills are just so solid. This is somebody who's been in the game for a long time. You can tell. He's really got that mastery over his skill set. I love stuff like this, where it is that you kind of have this silhouette, or I guess you could say a vignette of these two characters right here, and they help frame and basically set up what happens over the course of a night, right? You have basically a series of events. You have them dancing, you have them hanging out, and they're eating and whatnot, they're playing pool, she's getting frisky, and then we see the end result, which is them going back to their hotel, right? And interestingly, we can see that all the major action stuff is all on this side until we get down here, and then it's underneath them, which is interesting. Another Batman piece. His stuff just feels very dynamic. It also reminds me of Jason Sean Alexander, who I've also done a video on. I would recommend going back through and looking at some of the other comic artists. Like I've mentioned in previous episodes, I myself am a comic artist. I have my comic book process here on this channel that you can check out. So that's what this whole series of videos is about. It's about looking at like the best comic artists and seeing what I can learn from them. You know, seeing the storytelling, and I definitely feel like the more I look at this stuff, the more I pick up on things that I wouldn't have noticed before. I'm not sure what this is from. I think this is from Punk Rock Jesus, I think. I'm not always familiar with the properties themselves as much as I should be. But again, we just have a great action shot. We have a reaction. Looks like he sabotaged these guys' vehicle. They're flipping over the vehicle. They slam into a wall. Bam. And then we see them. We see the villain cackling over them. And then we see that he's jumping back, right? And then we see what he's jumping back from, which are these characters. This one's really cool. Again, his stuff starts to get loose almost into the point where it starts to feel not abstract, but it just starts to feel very loose, right? So you have these different design decisions that he makes, like this very strong angle here, right? Stuff like that. You know, it also connects with this big black shape that's going down through here. Goes here. So he's grouping all of this together. Right? I mean, all of this black is grouped together. And he's doing it in a very interesting way. Right? I mean, you could almost think that it's kind of doing this kind of zigzag thing, and it's all going up here to look at our main character, right? So along the way, we hit that secondary character as our eyes moving through the image. We can also say all the shading is also radiating away from the main character. Alright, we got a couple more, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. This is an awesome piece. I love stuff like this where it's kind of like this montage of like something happening. It's like it really conveys, you know, a moment in time. Very cool. This is the last one, guys. Yep, it's another sequential. Guy working on his vehicle, talking with a buddy, maybe his friend or something, as they're working on it. And he's just got like great angles that really have a very dramatic storytelling element to them. I like that they're also horizontal, so I wonder if this was like a full page, 2-page spread or what. It's interesting. Alright guys, and like I mentioned before, I'm a comic artist. If you want to check out my comic, I have a link in the description below. It's a sci-fi horror comic. And other than that, it's completely free. So if you're into that sort of thing, feel free to check it out. Otherwise, I'll be back with another video tomorrow, and we'll just continue looking at different comic artists. If there's an artist that you would like me to look at, please drop a comment in the description, in the comment box. Like and subscribe. Thanks guys for watching. Take it easy.